We think the Sedna Speedmaster is a better watch than the Daytona Everose. Want to know why? We will give you 5 reasons. The 5 points why we think the Sedna Gold Speedmaster is more interesting or a better watch than the Everose Daytona are the design.
Yes.
For and most important, I think. That's personal, but still it's our opinion. It's the price, it's the availability, which is good on the Omega and less good on the Rolex watches, as you know. 4th is the movement, where we have the master chronometer movement in the Speedmaster versus the chronometer movement in the Daytona. And 5th, we'll keep the 5th for last. So the first point, design. What do you like better design-wise about the Speedmaster in Sedna Gold than the Daytona and Everose?
Yes, so for me the most important aspect why I prefer this one over this one is definitely the bracelet. It is gorgeous, it has like vintage vibe. The finish is also really cool, brushed, small links. I love better this dial, it's less clutter than Rolex Daytona. And obviously the creme de la creme here is transparent case back with gorgeous looking 3861 movement.
Well, I agree on all points basically. What I also dislike about the Daytona, but it's a personal thing, is the screw down pushers. And of course, like I mentioned often on the Vertella website and in one of our previous videos, is I don't like the layout of the subdials on the Daytona because due to their own in-house movement, the subdials on 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock are centered higher than the center pinion, which to me looks a bit awkward. It looks a bit like the cheap quartz chronograph movements, in my opinion. Both are gold bezels. This one has the aluminum inlay. There you can dispute whether they should have used ceramic, like on the moonshine gold that I'm wearing. But what I don't like about the bezel on the Daytona is that the printing of the tachymeter scale is upside down in the lower part. It's radial done, and here on the Sedna Gold it's straight printing basically, or engraving. So yeah, I like this better. What I also like better on this one compared to the Everose Daytona is the fact that it has a brushed finish, where here you have some polished center links, for example, polished more polished parts on the case. So you will see every single scratch on gold, which is
unfortunately, which is annoying.
Kind of annoying, yes, yeah. We'll suffer from the same with gold. I've been wearing my gold Speedmaster for well over 1.5 years now, and you will definitely see scratches and dents and so on, because I wear it a lot. So yeah, that's what will happen with a gold watch, but polished surfaces, it shows scratches all the time. Design-wise, I agree with you. With the Omega Speedmaster, you have a very nice look at the movement.
Yeah, and here there's nothing basically.
There's a closed case back.
Let's talk about second reason.
Availability.
Exactly.
Yes, it's in general with Rolex. We all know the deal with Rolex.
Yeah.
It's very difficult at the moment to get any Rolex from an authorized dealer.
Unfortunately.
You are a bit pushed towards grey market to buy one, so you have to pay more, from a couple of hundreds to a couple of thousands, sometimes even twice the price. And I can't imagine that this is a way that Rolex want to go. If someone, they advertise with their watches, so they want people to buy their watches. Yet they go to an authorized dealer and you get a no.
Yeah.
And even when we still could travel, I was with Bert flying to, I think it was Bulgaria. We went into the Rolex boutique at Schiphol Airport.
And it was empty.
Well, it was empty, but the guy behind the counter starts shaking his head like, we don't have anything. And I think that's really a bad thing that you can do and you can have for a brand. I think that's a good point with Omega is, aside from their special editions and limited editions, is that the watches are just available. When they released the new Speedmaster in steel, the Speedmaster in Canopus, the white gold and in the Sedna Gold, they are just available. Perhaps not in every boutique yet, but they are there. And with Rolex, it's a nightmare.
Now we can smoothly move to the reason 3, the price. So as RJ mentioned, obviously Rolex Daytona is more expensive. The retail price for it is 37.4 thousand, while for Sedna Gold is 34.6.
Yes, in euros, that is,
yeah.
including VAT. So this is not the last, we have to be honest here, this is not the last iteration of the Everose Gold Daytona. The new models have ceramic bezel. So that version has a 37.4K retail price, so there's quite a bit of difference in the price.
Even if you find gold Rolex Daytona online, you will have to pay above the retail price.
Yeah, that's quite a big issue, I feel.
Yes, it is.
If it's a limited edition or special edition or a watch that has been discontinued and there's a lot of demand for them, I get it that you might pay over retail or pay more than the original price. That also has to do with the development of value over time.
Totally.
But a watch that's just in the collection, it should be at retail, to be honest.
I think so.
That's also what I like about this Speedmaster in general in gold, is that Omega had Speedmasters in gold in the past. I think up to 2012 there was always a yellow gold Speedmaster in the collection, like a normal one. And after that point they discontinued it. I guess there was little demand. That changed. I think gold is back on track.
It is.
People love gold. I also started buying more gold watches in recent years.
I'm thinking of buying my first gold watch. So.
You should.
Yeah.
And I feel that it's a really nice move of Omega to put a gold Speedmaster back in the collection. Actually two. The white gold one that was in the collection in 94 as a limited edition. And then later on in 99 they had one with a moon face on a leather strap. So it's really cool that they have a white gold one again and now also a Sedna gold. And I think perhaps that the moonshine one that I'm wearing was a very nice test for them to see
I think so.
what the demand would be for one.
Yeah.
But yes, availability is an issue with Rolex. Which brings us to the next point. Number 4 is the movement. Both have a chronometer certified movement. Both also have had some regulation and some additional test work after casing. But this is master chronometer, certified by Metas.
And this is not.
And this is not. Rolex, they regulate their movements up to -2, +2 seconds a day on average, deviation-wise, which is quite good. But it might run slow, and that's what you don't want to have. Nothing is more annoying to me than a slow-running watch.
Yeah,
it's
for
not
me
that.
as well.
Yeah, it's not that I need to catch a train or a bus often, but if a watch runs slow, for me that's a bit annoying because then you have to correct and advance it. With the Speedmaster, master chronometer, so it has a deviation between 0 and 5 seconds per day on average, so never slow. And on top, master chronometer, it's also anti-magnetic, up to 15,000 Gauss.
Yes.
They do proper shock testing, up to 5,000 Gs. And what they also do is they test the accuracy when the power reserve is down to 30%, and then it still performs within their range between 0 and +5 seconds a day. The power reserve of the Daytona is
72 hours, while for Speedmaster is 50 hours.
So it's a small win for the Daytona. We will give it some credit.
Exactly.
Last but not least, why we feel this is a better watch, a more interesting watch. You don't get
robbed.
Exactly.
Or killed.
Or killed over it. Even with the gold Speedmaster, nobody notices your watch, only enthusiasts. And with the Daytona, it has become quite a bit of a hassle. It might have been so in some countries in the past, but even here in the Netherlands, we saw last year some truly awful stuff going on with Rolex people. There was even like a Rolex gang, they called it a Rolex gang in Amsterdam, robbing people of their Rolexes. People were beaten up and shot. Even one guy was killed over what appeared later on to be a fake Rolex. It's really awful. And that's also something, do you really want that?
I don't think so.
I don't want to take that risk or have that risk. Of course, you should not wear a gold watch everywhere in the world where you go. Perhaps also paying some respect to some countries and the people there, that it's not always appropriate to wear an expensive watch or a gold watch. But yeah, if I'm going outside here, I want to be able to wear what I want, basically. Yeah. And we noticed that it's not always possible with a gold Rolex. Exactly. So there was our 5th point, not getting robbed. These were our 5 reasons why we love the Speedmaster better than Daytona. I would like to thank Wesley van Schaften for borrowing us his Daytona.
Let us know in the comments which of these two watches you like best. Thank you for watching us. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell.